Yes. I'm just bringing you right in. I love it. I love that. I love that.
I love that intro.
I get so pumped. Look at me. I'm peed. Look at that. I don't know what happened to me.
It's been too long since we played that music with anger, so with purpose.
Now not even in the stream. I don't know what happened.
And now Rob has disappeared. So it's just me. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the pub. Welcome to the pub, hosted by RobFuz, hosted by me, in RobFuz's absence. He'll be back momentarily. There he is.
Don't know what happened. Hi.
He just had to go. He had to go down to the cellar to get some bottles. He's back.
I am absolutely not drinking today, so I don't know. Some pub I am, but I am drinking smart water. So
I mean, it's smart to drink water.
It is smart.
Hey, John.
Water, so what's
Serpum John?
Hey, John. How you doing?
Is in the chat.
Hold on. So there's new features in StreamYard, by the way. So we can do this. Let's say, hey, John, and then we could look at that. We could show comments. Let's see. Maybe John's next comment will be shown. So, surprise! We are streaming. It is PubTalk. It is July 11th, 2025. We haven't streamed in a while, and I think it just took Ozzy Osbourne to get Adam back out and do another stream for us. So,
it took the mighty Sabbath, the mighty Black Sabbath,
yeah,
and the best gig on earth. Yeah, I think I can safely say that. I mean it genuinely.
No spoiler. Yeah, there it is. I can add the comments in this. Well, I'm blocked again. I don't know what's going on.
You're not blocked. I see. Oh no, you've frozen. Like you're not blocked. But okay, so it's just me. There we go. You're right,
guys. It's been a while since we streamed, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just
technical difficulties.
Delete some stuff out of going stuff. I don't know. I don't. Can you see it big enough? It looks tiny. I don't know if can you make it bigger. I don't know. That's the negative thing about this. It's tiny, but we're gonna leave that. Why not?
I guess like that's tiny. That's tiny when you're looking at it on the StreamYard screen. When you've got to look at all the banners and stuff as well. I guess that makes it look tiny. But if I was to bring this up on YouTube now, so I'm just gonna go over to the tubes
here, and it's kind of fuzzy too. Hence my nickname.
You're fuzzy, but yeah, no, that shows fine on the tubes. So that's yeah.
So sorry, John, hang out. I want to hear about your experiences. So premise of today's show. And I'm gonna give it to Adam. We have 1 hour, Adam. So no going. Let's see if you can do it. 1 hour.
What are you trying to say, Rob? Yeah,
it's been a long time. Well, thank you so much to my sponsor channels, Pig Pam 86. Go check out. She's a regular channel and she has a gaming channel, which she just hit 500 subscribers on the gaming channel, which Adam was on apparently last night. He was racing
last night. Yeah, I wasn't on the channel. I just joined in the game. But
we're gonna get to that too. And your birthday's next week too, so happy birthday, right?
It is next week. Yeah, it's Thursday next week. Yeah.
So, I didn't forget. Yeah. Hey, Mark. Welcome to the chat. Movie Media Nick. What's going on?
Hey, Nick.
Thank you, guys. So, and of course, Dinners with Donna, my awesome friend, my awesome sponsor channel, and of course, my subscribers. Thank you so much, my RobFuz subscribers. And so, are we streaming on your channel and my channel? Did you figure that out?
Well, I honestly, that was the dog yelping out. He's in a lot of pain at the minute. Bless him.
That's not good.
Yeah, we have a sick dog, so he's he's been chilling in bed all day, and he's not made a peep all day actually. But yeah, he just let a bit of a yelp out, which is it's a daily occurrence at the minute. So
sorry.
Yeah, he's been treated for cancer and stuff. So yeah, bless him. But yeah, so. But yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. He's
sorry.
Yeah, it just obviously was unexpected because he was lying right behind me, so he just let a bit of a yelp out. It's orally, so when he opens his mouth, because it affects the bone in his jaw and stuff like that. And he just lets out a bit of a yelp if he's yawning or anything like that. Bless him. So yeah. Nick said I thought it was a little girl. No, yeah, unfortunately it's the dog.
I thought it was Ebony getting pissed. She was on the stream or something.
No. Ebony's actually sitting in the lounge with Kim, and they're rewatching the live stream of Back to the Beginning last week. So,
cool.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the beginning. We got 10 people watching. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to AdamsLand, and it is streaming on your channel. And
I don't know. I've not got that far yet. I'll take a look.
I'm going to pull up AdamsLand too, and we'll see if it's going on over there. So yeah, it does say live. Look at that. We are on both channels. Let's check that.
We're on both channels. Nice.
Yeah, I see it's live, and you have her little circle says live. So good.
Cool.
So
there we go. Hello, anyone that's on my channel. Anyone that's on Rob's.
Yeah.
Anyone that's joined the pub from either pub, welcome in.
Yeah. What are we drinking, Adam? I'm sorry.
I'm drinking a cider tonight. It's really hot over here in the UK at the moment. So when the sun comes out and everything heats up a bit, then I tend to go for cider because it's generally a colder drink. So you can put ice in cider and stuff like that, whereas you don't tend to put ice in your beer.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Very nice. And of course, I'm sorry, I'm just drinking water, so I'm being a wimpy. So
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
No need to apologize.
So let's talk about this. So a while ago, I remember it came into fruition about the show.
February. So it turned out really quick. Yeah.
Yeah. So February, it was. I'm going to give it to you. You explain the show, explain the tickets, explain. Everything's in Adam's picture too, by the way, in the background, which is kind of cool. So,
is that my photo that I sent?
That is your photo
on Facebook. Yeah. So that's obviously the view from where Kimmy and I were sat last week. So the gig was announced in February, early February, much to everyone's surprise and shock, because obviously Ozzy had announced that he had retired from touring, and of course, Sabbath had played their farewell shows back in 2017, even though at the Commonwealth Games in 2022, Ozzy and Tony Iommi played out the closing ceremony from the Commonwealth Games, so which was in Birmingham as well. So,
what is that? I knew they did something, but I didn't know what that was.
So the Commonwealth Games, it's think of it like the Olympics, but only for nations that are part of the Commonwealth. So. Okay. Hence, America are not involved, but Canada are, for example. So Canada, Australia, England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, a lot of African countries. But basically anyone that's part of the Commonwealth. So Jamaica. So they had the Commonwealth Games. They normally tour around. Commonwealth Games are normally held anywhere between Australia, Canada, the UK, and I'm sure there's other countries that have hosted it as well. But it's every 4 years, much like the Olympics, but it's not part of an Olympiad cycle. But anyway, so that was held in Birmingham in 2022, and the closing ceremony they had it finished with Ozzy and Tony Iommi coming through the stage and playing out Paranoid. Okay. And I think it kind of gave everyone a little bit of hope that maybe we'd see Sabbath again someday, because Sabbath obviously toured and did their farewell show. I mean, they did many farewell shows over the years, but they kept on coming back, and then they did their final one in 2017. The thing was, it wasn't the full lineup, because Bill Ward hadn't played on the drums with them since 2005. So when they got back together in 2012, Bill Ward was supposed to join that tour, and then he pulled out due to a contractual dispute. So Sabbath hadn't played the full lineup, the original 4 members. And after a 57-year career, how many bands can stay that the whole lineup are still alive, are still talking to each other, etc. But it just always felt like Sabbath ending without the 4 of them all playing together wasn't the real send-off that band should have had. Black Sabbath were formed in 1968, and they are the band that are solely credited with creating heavy metal as we know it. So every single band that played last Saturday gives credit to Sabbath, and says pure and simply, without Black Sabbath we wouldn't be here now. So it had been 20 years since they played, and they suddenly announced that actually they were going to get together and do one final show. Ozzy had obviously retired from touring, I think in 2022 or 2023 as well, because obviously he'd had an accident, and then he developed Parkinson's, so his health had deteriorated rapidly. He couldn't
had
do
no
a full
choice,
tour
really.
anymore.
Yeah.
He can't even walk anymore, bless him.
Yeah.
And he was gutted because he'd had to cancel his previous tours, I think in part, because of the pandemic and stuff and his accident and then, like I say, his health issues. And he felt he never got to say farewell to the fans the way he wanted to say farewell to the fans. So obviously conversations happened, this came about. And yeah, Sharon Osbourne and Andy Copping from Live Nation, who organises the Download Festival in the UK, they set together putting this gig together. They were like, it'd be great
Tom
if we could
Morello
just get
too was involved, right?
Yeah, so Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine, guitarist from Rage Against the Machine, he was brought on as the musical director. But yeah, it started with Sharon and Andy Coppin, and they were like, it'd be great if we could put this thing together and get a bunch of bands that Ozzy or Sabbath have kind of inspired over the years or have taken out on the road over the years, and blah 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 blah. And they started making a list of bands that they would love to get there. And the first band they contacted was Metallica. Metallica said yes, we would love to be there to support Black Sabbath one last time and to say thank you. And that was that kind of hit. Metallica are arguably the biggest metal band in the world, so when they say yes, I think that just set the wheels in motion. They were like, okay, we can pull this off, and we can get a lot of decent bands on the bill, and they put together a lineup that just arguably for a single day looks like the greatest metal lineup in history, I think. So of any gig, of any festival.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Adam and I have talked about this, and I said, like, how do you ever, like, you've raised the bar so high with this lineup, like, and you've been to so many different things, and I've been to. Me and you are very lucky that we've got to see a lot of festivals, a lot of acts and stuff, and
yeah.
And I'm going to spoiler here. This was the best show you've ever seen. I think it'll be the best show you'll ever see, period. I think so.
It's I've seen hundreds of bands over the last 26 years of going to gigs and festivals. So like my first proper gig was a one-day festival that Metallica headlined back in 1999 when it was exactly 26 years ago yesterday.
Wow.
So it was the 10th of July 1999, and it was the Metallica big day out at the Milton Keynes Bowl in England. And like I say, I've been to so many gigs and festivals since then. This one is easily the best one I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And I've been to so many great ones as well. I should stress that I've been to so many gigs where I've had the most amazing time, but this was just something else. Like it was just.
I'm so glad
it was like the heavy metal equivalent of Live Aid meets the Freddie Mercury tribute concert, I guess. Like, it was nuts how rapid they had to turn the bands around and everything. With a revolving stage, so while one band was playing, one band was playing like a 15-minute set, and every band did a cover as well. So every band did at least one Sabbath or Ozzy cover as well, which was great. And we'll get into that more, but while one band's playing, the other band was just setting up. They had a back to the beginning sort of backdrop, and the other band was setting up backstage. And they had like a 7-minute changeover between each band. So as soon as
That's
that
crazy.
finished and walked off, this screen came up, the stage span around. Sorry, I knocked the microphone there. Stage span around, screen dropped again behind this new band's lineup, and then they obviously quickly struck the stage and loaded it out backstage of the band that have just finished. Bring the next one in, and it was so well done. It was so well done, and then all throughout the day, you had like parody music videos or parody film clips or
Tributes,
movie clips or parody commercials, trailers, whatever. It was just videos that Ozzy had done over the years, when he was on tour. So just stuff where he appears in scenes from Pulp Fiction, for example, or other people's music videos and stuff.
Did you put those together,
really funny.
Adam?
Did I put those together? I
I'm
wish
joking.
I did. I wish I did. Yeah, but yeah. So they played those, and then there was genuine tributes from just people like all over. So tributes from Def Leppard, tributes from AC/DC, tributes from Elton John, from Dolly Parton, from Cyndi Lauper, from Jack Black doing a cover of Mr. Crowley. It was just, there was just so many sort of tributes, well wishing. The guys from Judas Priest, who of course are from Birmingham themselves, wishing that they could be there, but they were in Germany supporting the Scorpions on their 60th anniversary.
Who is that? Sorry, I was looking for
Judas Priest. So Judas Priest.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're of course from Birmingham as well. So yeah, they have a huge kinship with Sabbath and the whole Birmingham thing. So yeah, they wished they could have been there. They were gutted that they weren't there, but they'd already agreed to play the Scorpions' 60th anniversary in Germany. So
wow.
But yeah, it was just great. Like, just 7 minutes flies by. It was barely enough time to go to the bathroom or to go and get a pint, and or whatever, from the bar, from the kiosks, before the next band was on. The whole day was a whirlwind. It flew by. Jack Black was unexpected, but what was even more awesome was him performing with the Sons of Yes. Yeah, so it was very, very cool, that the Jack Black parody. Well, not the Jack Black parody, the Jack Black tribute, you should say. It wasn't really a parody, but no, it was a cover of Mr. Crowley with the kids, which of course Jack Black's used to doing from School of Rock, but yeah, like I say, with Tom Morello and Scott Ian's kids. So yeah, so this gig was announced in February. The tickets went on sale, I think, a week or so later. And the scramble for it was ridiculous. So I queued 3 days to get tickets online. So I did it on.
What does that mean exactly?
So there was actually 4 days of selling. Like 3 of them were pre-sale windows. So you had the pre-sale window. I can't remember what the first one was. The second day was it's called the O2 pre-sale, which is so obviously you get like mobile networks in America for your cell phones, like Verizon and stuff like that. So O2 is one of the ones in the UK, and they do a thing called O2 Priority, where you'll get like a pre-sale window like 2 days in advance of general sale tickets going on, for gigs and festivals and stuff like that. So I joined the O2 Priority queue on the Tuesday. And I think, as I recall, where was I in the queue? I think I was something like number 2000 and something. And I thought, okay, well, it's not bad. And I got into the queue. I managed to get 2 tickets in the basket, but it was more money than I wanted to pay because the ticket prices were astronomical. So I aborted those tickets, and I kept on trying to get the ones that were slightly cheaper. Anyway, didn't have any joy. I tried for about an hour, and it was like, okay, these tickets are clearly all gone for the day, so I'll try tomorrow on the Live Nation pre-sale. So on the Wednesday, I logged in again, Live Nation pre-sale, and I tried again for about an hour and a half. I was about 16,000 in the queue on that one. By the time I got in, everything was gone. Yeah, by the time I got in, everything was gone, and I was like, okay, this, it's not working. So on the last day, the general sale day, Thursday, I got in the queue.
You never told me all this stuff. I didn't know you struggled this hard to get tickets.
It was a nightmare trying to get tickets. So where on the Live Nation one, where I was number 16,000, Kim was number 80,000 in the queue.
80.
So this, wow. Yeah, 80,000. Yeah. And then on the last day on the general sale, I got in the queue number around 8,000 and something. 8,000. Kim was about number 60,000. One of my friends was. Oh no! Kim on one of them was about 100,000 in the queue. So one of my friends was about 120,000 in the queue. So so just no chance. Anyway, so I got through the 8,000 in the queue quite quickly, but again, pretty much all the tickets have gone by this point. So now I'm scrambling, and I finally managed to get 2 tickets in the queue, and I realised that they were £750 each.
Wow.
So that was £1,500, which is about $2,000 for the 2 tickets, and I was like, nope, not paying that. So I again aborted that.
And what did that get you? Just a ticket to the show? That's it. Was it
Just tickets
floor
to the
or
show. Yeah,
side or-
that was on one of the sides. That was the
Okay.
side where Luca was.
Right.
Yeah, so that was over that side.
It's
So
all right to show photos, right? I could show
yeah, of course, yeah. So I carried on scrambling, and about an hour passed, and I was giving up hope. I was like, this is not going to happen. And I just kept on refreshing, and random seats would appear, but then by the time you got in there and tried to add it to the basket, it was gone. There's Luca, yep, your buddy. And I kept on scrambling for tickets, and then all of a sudden, 2 seats appeared, not next to each other, but directly behind each other, like one behind the other.
Wow.
And I just went, right, and I clicked on, I got them in the basket. Funnily enough, they were exactly the same price as the tickets I had 2 days earlier in the O2. One that I didn't want to pay, but at this point I was just kind of like, I don't care now. Like, it's now or never kind of thing. And I was on the phone with Kim at the time, and I was like, I've got 2 in the queue. Can I get them? And she was like, are you asking permission? I was like, well, yeah, because they cost this much. Luckily, we still had some money left over from the wedding and honeymoon. That was the last of it. So we were like, okay, this is our final sort of hurrah of our first year of married life. And after this, we have to go into hibernation because because of the cost of the tickets or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Aw.
yeah, we got them. And do you know what? Realizing the size of the queues, I knew this was going to be a popular sort of show. I didn't realize how popular it would be. I knew it would sell out in a matter of minutes, and it did. It was sold out officially in 10 minutes, basically. But yeah, like it was the scramble to get the tickets became apparent when we were there last week. When we met people from literally all over the world. This wasn't just a UK show. This was completely international. There was so many people from all over the UK that we met, but so many people from all over America, from all the different states in America. There were people from Canada, there was people from New Zealand, people from Israel, Portugal, Syria, Sweden, Germany, Czech Republic, who else? France, sitting next to us. You know, there was people from everywhere, like that had all flown in. Brazil, Argentina. You know, I met people from Brazil and people from Argentina who had literally flown in for the weekend. Like, you know, some like one guy had flown in. He lived in Denver, Colorado. So wow. And he'd flown in and spent a week in Birmingham. And he said that was like the most time he'd taken off work in about 5 or 6 years. Like, you know, so but yeah, it was yeah, there was people that were literally flying in a day or two before and then flying out the day after. This is how much it meant to people. People wanted to see this last gig, and that's why there was such a mad scramble to get the seats. So knowing that I was part of only 45,000 lucky people that got in there, I feel very, very privileged, and that's completely not lost on me. You know, the fact that I managed to get into that show, and that we managed to get these 2 tickets that just happened to be one behind the other. So yeah, that was a stroke of luck. And Rob's just disappeared. I guess he's got to just deal with something. And I was about to stop talking, but I guess I got to keep riffing for a minute while we wait for Rob to come back. I know Rob's got all the photos lined up. I don't have access to them to keep showing them for him at the moment. But yeah, it was. Hey, Johns, welcome in, buddy. Rob is back. There we go. Yeah. So, did Zakk Wylde show up? Yes. So Zakk Wylde played in 2 bands, John. So Zakk Wylde, of course, was famously with Ozzy Osbourne for a long time. He left for a little while, but he did play with Ozzy again. But he's also on tour with Pantera, or the Pantera tribute, if you will, because obviously it's not with Vinnie Paul and Dimebag, but obviously you've got Charlie Benante from Anthrax, and you've got Zakk Wylde filling in with Phil and Rex. So Zakk Wylde was on stage twice with Pantera and with Ozzy. So yeah. Mr. Fulton Raz, next Sunday, July the 20th, is your big 26th birthday. Happy birthday for next Sunday. That is also Kim's birthday, the 20th. So, Rob, you are silent, by the way. You are muted.
It's your birthday as well that week too, right?
It's my birthday on Thursday the 17th. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's Kim's on the 20th. So yeah, I think we're going to go to a barbecue that day. But yes, Zach Wilde did show up.
He's awesome. I saw him at Metallica at MetLife last year.
Awesome. Yeah, Zach is a very, very good guitarist. Yeah, I mean the whole lineup was amazing from start to finish. So like the bands, and then not only just the bands, but you also had so many musicians there that wanted to pay tribute. There was a couple of musicians that were supposed to be there that didn't turn up. So Wolfgang Van Halen was going to be there, but his band was going out on tour with Creed as of last Sunday, so he had to make sure he was back in America for that. So his band Mammoth were heading out with Creed on Sunday, so he couldn't be at the show on Saturday. So Wolfgang Van Halen pulled out. Jonathan Davis from Korn was supposed to be there, but also pulled out. But he did leave a video message. And also Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit was supposed to be there. Again, he didn't turn up on the day, but he did also do a musical tribute. He did a music video of him singing Changes, Black Sabbath Changes.
Did Wolfgang do a video?
No, I didn't see Wolfgang do a video, so unless I was at the bar at the time, which I was at the bar many times.
Shocker.
Shocker. But yeah. So but yeah, I mean the bands that were there, you had Mastodon open the show, who are a technically brilliant band and a great bunch of guys. I've met the guys from Mastodon before. Really good guys. Yeah, so they, funnily enough, they just, one of their longtime members, singer and guitarist, had just recently left as well. And they managed to draft in a replacement guitarist who's some YouTube shredder, apparently, but yeah, you would never have known it. Like they were really tight. Yeah, so
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm convinced that this was Ozzy's live wake, and he simply invited everyone along for the ride. Do you know what? It's and what a way to go out and celebrate though, because it was great. So yeah, so Mastodon came along. They played Black Tongue, then they played their very famous Blood and Thunder song, and then they did a cover of Supernaut by Black Sabbath, also bringing out 3 other drummers with them. So you had Mario Duplantier, who was the drummer from Gojira, who were also playing that day. You had Danny Carey, who's the drummer from Tool, and you had Eloy Casagrande, who is the former Sepultura, now Slipknot drummer. He was backstage, so he came out and just jammed with them as well, which was really cool. So you did have a couple of members from Slipknot. Slipknot weren't on the bill, but Eloy was there backstage. Got to meet his idol Bill Ward, and Sid Wilson, who is the DJ from Slipknot and also Kelly Osbourne's partner, now fiance, because we'll get to that. But and father of her child. Yeah, he was there DJing in between bands and stuff. But yeah, so Mastodon came out. They did 3 songs because every band got like a 15-minute set. So Black Tongue, Blood and Thunder, Supernaut with this mad drum off in the middle, which was a great cover. And then you had Rival Sons, who were kind of a bit more bluesy rock. And they came out. They played Do Your Worst, Electric Funeral, and Secret. So Electric Funeral obviously being Sabbath cover, which was amazing. It was such a good cover. I was kind of like, when Rival Sons started, I was like, I'm going to go to the bar. I'm not bothered. And I kind of went to the bar. There was nobody there, so I kind of got my beers within like 30 seconds and was heading back up. And they started playing Electric Funeral, and I just stood there and I was like, this is really good, actually. So I was glad I didn't miss it. They were a really good surprise band. So then Anthrax came out. Anthrax only played 2 songs. So they played Indians, and then their cover was Into the Void. Again, another Sabbath cover. They were great. And then Hailstorm.
For the Indians.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, you know it. Yeah, Crack the Indians. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so they played Indians.
Is
And then they
Anthrax
played
still
Into the
around?
Void.
Do they tour and stuff? Or
Yeah.
I know the drummer plays for Pantera, but
Yeah. So Charlie Benante, obviously, again, like Zach Wilde, played twice. He played with Anthrax, and then he played with Pantera. But yeah, no, the guys from Anthrax are still touring a lot, and yeah, again, great bunch of guys. I hung out with them on when Slayer were doing their farewell tour in 2018. So yeah, good guys. Hailstorm came out next. Lizzie Hale's voice, man, she has got such a belting voice. But yeah, so they came out and they did Love Bites, and so do I. They did Rain Your Blood on Me, which I think is a new one, and then they did a cover of Ozzy Osbourne's Perry Mason, which again was a superb cover. That was what was just starting when we were going live, and I was rocking out just as you were starting to play the intro. That was so Ebony and Kim were watching it in the lounge.
They're watching things. There was a pay-per-view special. It was 9.5 hours. The special was so.
That's right. So which we paid for that as well because all the money went to charity. So obviously I'd talked before about the ludicrous ticket prices and paying more than I wanted to pay. Like, I mean, we paid £400 each for our tickets, which is a lot, really, for a one-off gig. £400. I'd never normally pay that for a weekend festival, let alone a one-day thing. If you were stood in the Golden Circle, those tickets cost almost £3,000 each.
So $540 US. So okay.
So that's the 400. Yeah. So if you went for £3,000 each, let's have a look. What's that? That is just over $4,000. So per ticket. So and then
like you said, it went to charity though. So
yeah, it was all going to charity, and they've totaled it up. And basically, this gig earned about £140 million, which is about $190 million for charity. Wow. So I mean, that is sort of.
And they were all local charities too, right?
Well, two of them were local Birmingham charities. So one was Acorns Children's Hospice, one was Birmingham Children's Hospital, but another one was just Cure Parkinson's. So I think that's a global one. So when you watch the adverts and stuff, you have an Australian voice talking over it and stuff like that. So I believe Cure Parkinson's is more widespread, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all for great causes. But yeah, eight and a half hours of amazing stream.
Was it 8.5? I'm sorry.
It was 8.5. Yeah, I know.
Thanks for correcting.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Makes sense. I mean, he's in late stage Parkinson's, among other health issues. He knows he doesn't have long left. Yeah, so yeah, and he wanted to be able to say goodbye on his terms, and they absolutely got to do this. And I think it's fair to say it was a very emotional day for fans, for the bands. Scott Ian from Anthrax sort of said, they watched, and the guys from Mastodon as well. They all did statements afterwards, and they all said how much they laughed backstage, how much they cried backstage, how much they enjoyed the camaraderie and stuff like that with each other. But those moments when Ozzy and Sabbath performed, how much it emotionally hit all of them. It was a proper moving sort of moving gig. Real question: was there a biting of a bat's head involved? There was no biting of bats' heads.
Not even in the parodies or anything, or the
They did a video clip of Ozzy doing that in Little Nicky, the Adam Sandler movie. So yeah, because obviously he does that in Little Nicky, which is one of Little Nicky's brothers. And yeah, if you've seen the movie, you'll know it.
Okay.
But yeah, so they did that in a video thing. But yeah, obviously, yeah. The real event that happened, that was just a horrible accident where Ozzy didn't even realize it was a real bat. So it was just he thought it was a rubber bat, didn't he? And yeah. So, gross. But there we go. The next band that played was Lamb of God. Again, great guys. Great set.
You love them. That's one of your favorite bands.
Yeah, Lamb of God are a great band anyway. But they came out. They played Laid to Rest and then Redneck. So it really kicked the place off with circle pits everywhere. And then they did a cover of Children of the Grave, which is one of my favorite Sabbath songs anyway. But what they also did was they released a studio recording of it the next day on streaming, so that's now available on Amazon, Spotify, and stuff like that. And it is superb. They do it in their own style, so they do it as a Lamb of God song, but it is a Sabbath cover. Children of the Grave. Go and listen to it if you're a fan of heavy music. It is really, really good. So their set was superb. And then you had the first supergroup of the day. So like I said, there was a lot of musicians there. I listed 3 that didn't turn up, but loads of others did. So the supergroup A covered The Ultimate Sin, which was a cover featuring Lizzie Hale again from Hailstorm, Nuno Betancourt from Extreme, Jake E. Lee, which I think he was one of Ozzy's guitarists back in the day, wasn't it? Dave Ellison, who was the Megadeth bassist, Mike Bordin from Faith No More, and he was Ozzy's drummer for a while, and Adam Wakeman, who I think was he keyboardist for Ozzy? I think he was. So yeah, then they did Shot in the Dark with David Draymond from Disturbed on vocals as well, again with Jakey Lee, Ellison, Borden and Wakeman. Then Sweet Leaf, and they brought Scott Ian out on guitar for that from Anthrax as well. Then David Draymond left the stage, and Whitfield Crane from Ugly Kid Joe came out, and they covered Believer, and Frank Bello came out on bass as well. From Anthrax again, and the drummer 2 from Sleep Token, so he came out to drum that. And then I think one of the biggest surprises.
That's the show in the background. I hear.
Yeah, you can hear it in the background. Okay. Yeah,
I was like, "What is that?" Okay, all good.
So one of the biggest surprises of the day. There's a UK artist called Youngblood, who probably isn't really someone that was expected to be here. He's not really known for heavy metal. I think he's more, maybe he does a bit more sort of emo / pop punk, punk pop, rather pop punk. So, and he came out and he did Changes, the slow Black Sabbath ballad, the one that Ozzy covered with Kelly about 10 years ago as well. Okay. And it was absolutely phenomenal. If you want to, if you YouTube Youngblood, and it's spelled Youngblud, Youngblood Changes from Back to the Beginning. He inspired all of Villa Park to join him in a sing along, and it was absolutely stunning. It was so good. So Youngblood played that again with Nuno Betancourt, Frank Bello, and Adam Wakeman, and 2 from Sleep Token. And that was the end of the Supergroup A. So then you kind of have the Jack Black video that he did with Roma Morello and Revel Ian, as we talked about before. Then we're back to the normal band. So Alice in Chains came out, played Man in the Box. And
hold on a sec. I saw Nuno Betancourt was there, but he didn't play in that Supergroup.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah, he was in all of that. Yeah. So Nuno was and Nuno was great on guitar as well. By the way, he was superb. So yeah, so he was in all of that supergroup. He was on stage for all of that. And then Alice in Chains came out. They played Man in the Box, Wood, and their cover was Fairies Wear Boots. Again, a great song. Then Gojira, who were a French band, a bit heavier, they came out, and their set was, again, it was brutal. It was so good. So they played Stranded, they played Silvera, they played Mea Culpa, and then they played a cover of Under the Sun. It was really, really good. Then, and I should say the whole thing was hosted, by the way, by Jason Momoa as well.
Oh, I didn't realize he did the whole thing.
He was the compere. He hosted the whole thing basically.
I saw a video the other day. I said, "Did you?"
Yes. So I'll get to that.
But I saw it on the screen.
I'll get to that in a minute. So Jason Momoa obviously came out to introduce the next thing, which was a drum off, which you had Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, you had Travis Barker from Blink-182, and you had Danny Carey from Tool, all doing a drum off. So they basically had Tom Morello, Nuno Betancourt again, and Rudy Sarzo, who was Ozzy's bassist back in the day, playing Symptom of the Universe while they did this drum off. And then they brought out the second supergroup, which
such a metal thing, drum off. Come on,
a drum off. Yeah, it was like an 8-minute drum off. It was cool. Then you had yeah, so you had, obviously, like I said, Judas Priest were gutted that they couldn't be there. However, you did get KK Downing from Judas Priest, because he left Priest in 2011, but obviously he was one of the founding members of Judas Priest. So KK Downing was there, and he came out with Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins and Tom Morello and Adam Jones, who I think he's from Tool, isn't he? Adam Jones. He's one of Tool's guitarists. Rudy Sarzo, again, the bassist from Ozzy, and Danny Carey from Tool on drums. And they covered "Breaking the Law" by Judas Priest. And then they stayed on stage and they covered "Snowblind." Then Sammy Hagar came out, replaced Billy Corgan. And Chad Smith came out on stage as well, and Vernon Reid as well. They covered "Flying High" again, and "Rock Candy" as well. And then you had Papa Perpetua from Ghost. He came out and covered "Bark at the Moon" as well, with Travis Barker on the drums. And then you had the surprise inclusions of the day was Ronnie Wood from the Rolling Stones came out on guitar to jam along with Nuno Bettencourt, Tom Morello, Andrew Watt, Rudy Sarzo, and Travis Barker, and Steven Tyler on vocals.
Yeah, that was a big surprise, right? You said that was blown, though, right?
Well, Steven Tyler was supposed to be a major surprise, but he'd obviously done all the photo shoots backstage with them like the day or two before, and Metallica had accidentally posted the photos the night before, so people knew Steven Tyler was there. But yeah, so
great, right? Like, I just don't think he could do a concert.
Phenomenal, like,
right?
Yeah. I don't know, but like,
you do like 30 songs. You can only do.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean,
too, so.
Yeah, but honestly, he did 3 songs and it was phenomenal. So he did "The Train Kept a Rolling," then they did a cover of "Walk This Way," and then they did "A Whole Lot of Love" by Led Zeppelin as well. And it was amazing. Just the whole place just exploded by this point. So it really got everyone piped up. Then this
is around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 5 o'clock our time. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that's when Jason Momoa came back out and he said, you know what, he said, started all day saying, "I belong out there with you." So he introduced Pantera. And he said, "You know what? Make way! I'm going to get in the pit." And he did. Him and his son went and got in the pit, which was great. So the videos of it are great.
I saw that, and Adam, I think Adam sent me this photo, and I'm like, "Are you on the ground? Are you on the floor?" And he's like, "Nah, that's my friend's shot." So, but I'm like, "All right." So and then you show me where you were, and I'm like, "That's exactly where I want to sit. Is right there where you sent me the picture right there." So
yeah, that's right.
Under the overhang. I thought your seats were perfect. You know what I mean? You got
the seats were great. I'm just going to go to Entertainment Fans comments. So he says Jakey Lee was Ozzy's "Bark at the Moon" and Ultimate Sin albums. Yes, he was. And he said also Draymond apparently got a negative response from the crowd when he came out. Yeah, I'm not going to he won the crowd over. I will say that. Yes, he got some boos when he came out, and I think that's because of all the politics going on with Israel and Gaza and things, and those photos of David Draymond signing bombs when visiting Israel last year, because he's Jewish, and obviously, like, I'm not going to get too political with it, but lines are always drawn in these situations,
yeah.
And people will take their opinion on either side of the divide, and yeah, so obviously, whether you agree with that or not, and a few people obviously didn't and voiced their opinions. He did obviously get some boos and heckles. In fact, I'm hearing him singing right this minute in time, on the TV in the background. But yeah, he definitely won the crowd over. So again, you got to remember, this was all for charity. So and then Entertainment Fan says Ozzy appeared on one of Youngblood's videos, so that's how he knew him. I think I'd heard about that. I forgot about that though. But yeah, Ozzy commented, "Even better than me on Youngblood's performance." Honestly, Youngblood's performance is superb. Go and watch it. So yes, and yes, it is cool that he got the crowd cheering again when he performed. Yeah, he did. So that's good. But yeah, so Pantera came on. They did 4 songs. So they did Cowboys from Hell and Walk, obviously their own songs. They did Planet Caravan, which they covered on Far Beyond Driven. So that was a well-known cover that Pantera had done years ago. So that was nice. It kind of took the pace down a bit. And then they did a cover of Electric Funeral as well, which had also been covered earlier in the day by Rival Sons. So yeah, we heard that song for the second time. But again, another great cover. Then Tool came out, and they did 46 and 2. They did Hand of Doom, and
love Tool as well.
And about So sorry,
you love Tool as well, don't you?
Do you know what? I'm not a massive Tool fan. They're musically they're great. Don't get me wrong. Musically they are great. I think Tool are what you would call a musician's band. You know, in terms of if you're a musician, I think musicians really appreciate them. Yeah, musicians really appreciate them because technically they are superb. Are they a band that will get a crowd pumped? I don't necessarily think they are. You know. And a few people were kind of like, nah, Tool, nah, whatever. Like, you know, they were still great. Don't get me wrong, they were still great. Hey, Pam. I'm just checking, by the way. Oh no, yeah, I was going to say I did message you before, Pam. But I guess Dan's just seen my messages as well. Yeah, no, all good. Yeah, so where was I? Tool. So they put on a great show still. I think Kimmy missed Tool because she went to go and try and find some food at this point and get another beer. But Kimmy wasn't bothered about seeing Tool so much. Slayer were next though. That was one that everyone was waiting to see because obviously Slayer retired from touring in 2019. So the fact that they made some comeback shows last year and then announced that they were coming back over to the UK for this was, I think, caught everyone off guard. So, and they were phenomenal. It was like they'd never been away. I know it's only been like 5-6 years, but it was like they'd never been away, and they probably shouldn't have retired because they are so good at what they do. So they did 6 songs. So they did Disciple, War Ensemble. They covered Wicked World. Then they did South of Heaven. And then they kind of did a mashup of Rain and Blood and Angel of Death at the end. And it just tore Villa Park a new one. It was brilliant. It was so good. And then obviously you were into the big hitters, like, you know, so Guns N' Roses were next. And yeah, they came out. And Guns N' Roses were great. I think the one problem they had was it looked like Axl's in-ears had gone. So he was really struggling with hearing the rest of the band, and it was evident that he kind of went out of time with them a bit. And you kept on seeing him performing. He kept on going over to the drummer to pick back up the rhythm again. Because, so as he's at the front of the stage, he was losing everything. And he kept on having to go back over to the drummer to get the rhythm so he'd know where he was in the song again, which was a shame because other than that, they were great. I guess, you know, every show is going to have a technical difficulty at some point. It's a shame that it happened to Axl and Guns. But yeah, they did Never Say Die. They did Junior's Eyes. They did Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. So, you know, sort of 3 covers there. Then they did Welcome to the Jungle and Paradise City. And then you went to Metallica.
Version, right, of Paradise City, I heard. So.
Sorry?
It wasn't like the full version, I thought I read or something. So.
No, it was the full version, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think they maybe cut the ending short. Like, you know, so they didn't run as long with the fast-paced ending.
You said Guns N' Roses shots. I don't think I have any Metallica, so.
Yeah, no, I don't think I got some Metallica shots at the time. I've got video footage, but I didn't send any of that. I'll put it up on Facebook. But yeah, Metallica did 2 Sabbath covers as well. So they opened up with Hole in the Sky. I think everyone thought the smart money would be on them covering Sabra Cadabra because they covered that on Garage Inc. But no. So they did Hole in the Sky. Then they covered Creeping Death. Then they did their own Creeping Death and For Whom the Bell Tolls. Then the next cover was Johnny Blade. And then they finished with Battery and Master of Puppets. And they were superb. Like, the last time I saw Metallica wasn't so good. This was at Download 2023, so 2 years ago. The last time I saw them, and I saw them twice over the space of a weekend, like, you know, like part of what they're doing on the M72 World Tour, where they play like twice in a weekend. The first day was really good. The second day, not so good. But this show was, again, this show was great. They did really, really well. And then that was it. You were into Ozzy and Sabbath. Now, I think everyone wondered how much Ozzy could realistically do. He said he wasn't going to do full set, and so he did 5 Ozzy songs and 4 Sabbath songs.
Which I think that was great. It was perfect.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, so he opened up with "I Don't Know," which is his first song on Blizzard of Oz. Then he did "Mr. Crowley," great song. He did "Suicide Solution," and then he did "Mama, I'm Coming Home." At which point, I think most of Villa Park broke into tears. Like, you know, it was such an emotional moment. It just literally captured everyone. Got everyone singing along with him. And you could tell what it meant to him as well. Like, he was kind of sat in his throne. He couldn't really stand as much as he wanted to. But he did say, like, he said, I never thought I'd do this again. You have no idea what this means to me, you know, and he thanked the crowd so much. And then he ripped into an amazing version of Crazy Train, which just blew the roof off Villa Park. Like, the rendition of Crazy Train was superb. And I've seen a video of, I think Jack Osbourne put a video up of where he was and viewing like Ozzy's grandkids and their facial expressions, and saying it's great that, you know, their granddad is still blowing their minds. Like, you know, Crazy Train was so good. And then obviously there was a very quick turnaround. Sabbath came out and they did War Pigs, which again got all of Villa Park singing. Then NIB, which Geezer Butler on bass was phenomenal. He was so good. And then they finished with Iron Man and Paranoid, and yeah, it was perfect. Like I think if I'd known that Sabbath were only going to do 4 songs, War Pigs, Iron Man, and Paranoid would have been 3 of the 4 that I wanted anyway. So. And then I guess I would have been torn between wanting Children of the Grave or Fairies Wear Boots. So yeah, the fact that we got 3 of those 4, I was super happy with it. So
I asked you what was going to be the biggest song, the crowd pleaser.
Oh, I probably said War Pigs, didn't I? Did I say War Pigs?
You did,
yeah. War Pigs must have been up there because, yeah, I mean, you've got that bit sort of where everyone just sings along at the end, and it was again, it was an emotional moment. Do you know what? I've never seen so many grown men with tears in their eyes, or people must have been chopping onions around them, or their eyes were just sweaty with respect. Yeah. It was, and I'm not ashamed to admit, myself included, my eyes were absolutely sweaty with respect at the end of that show. Awesome. There was a kid from London next to me, his dad and him, and it was this kid's first ever gig, and I was like, "This is your first ever gig." I was like, "I'm sorry to ruin it for you, but it's never going to get better than this." It's yeah,
bring their kids, like, the VIP stuff. I'm like, how you ever going to top that? You know?
Yeah, I was like, dude, it's never going to get better than this. But you've just come to the most significant gig you'll ever see. It was so good. It was, you know, from start to finish, just ridiculous fun. Yeah, we had the best time, and it was worth every penny of it. I will say that it was worth every penny of it.
For you guys, so happy.
And the fact that it raised so much money for charity as well. You know, yeah.
One thing it kind of like ended, and it just they kind of left Ozzy out there, but like on the TV version. But then
on the TV version, it looked bad. Yeah,
it looked bad. So what really happened at the end then?
So, of course, because on the stream, the gig finishes, you see Ozzy wanting to stand up. He wants to stand up. And what actually happens is, because there's kind of pyro going off and then fireworks are going off above Villa Park, and the camera keeps on panning around to like the audience, the fireworks, back to the stage, audience, fireworks, back to the stage, you know, and so on. What you don't see is, first and foremost, Tony Iommi goes right up to Ozzy and sort of gives him a handshake and stuff, and then he steps back because he wants Ozzy to have that final moment with the fans. You know, this is it's Ozzy's farewell as well, so he wants Ozzy to have that final moment. But Geezer Butler has gone off stage because he brought Ozzy a cake out, so a big cake, which nobody knew about, but on the TV footage, it just looks like the band had just abandoned him, and he just sat there in his throne, helpless, because the guy can't walk. Bless him. Yeah. So he's still there now, but no. But yeah. So it was a shame that they didn't coordinate it with the film crew to get that bit. If the producer of the show had known, then they would have made sure the camera angles were on that as well. But yeah, it did make it look a bit like a cold ending, but it absolutely wasn't. So
I was surprised. Like, and they did it. They took a superstar photo. I should have downloaded that, showed that, but I think I actually might have it. But like any other show, like everyone would come out, or they do like a final song or two, whatever. But no, they didn't, and I actually respected that. Like you said, let him have his moment, let him, enjoy the crowd or whatever.
Yeah, I think a lot of people expected a bunch of musicians to pile onto the stage at the end, but no, I think that would have taken away from Sabbath's curtain call. This was Sabbath's moment, especially Ozzy and Bill Ward. Because Bill Ward didn't get his moment in 2017. This was the first time the four of them were on stage together in 20 years. So this was absolutely their moment, and I'm glad a bunch of other musicians didn't pile onto the stage at the end. As cool as it is to see those those moments where musicians come together, we already had that twice during the day. So yeah, I don't think we needed that with anyone else. It was just a lovely fitting way to say thank you and farewell to Ozzy for his his crazy, very very storied sort of career that he's got the best anecdotes and stories ever. I remember seeing an interview with Ozzy on the BBC back in the 1990s, and even then, the details of some of his anecdotes are some of the funniest things ever. And I found a YouTube video of it the other day. I sent it over to Kim because I was just like, watch this. I remember watching it when it aired live back in 1999 or whatever it was. And yeah, it's just he's such a very funny character. He's had such a amazing career, and yeah, he because he didn't get to say thank you and do his farewell tour when he was able to still perform, before Parkinson's sort of crippled him. He just he was gutted that he was never going to get that goodbye. So to have that moment, that's why he was there sat in the chair at the end, because he was still getting that adoration from the fans. So it wasn't as cold as people thought it was when they watched the telecast. It was he got his moment. Bill Ward got his moment, and yeah, it was amazing. In all honesty, it was really good. So
yeah, all right. Well, it was amazing.
I remember watching their TV show. I thought it was funny. Sharon, it says,
there's actually a channel that shows it 24 hours. The Osbournes.
Well, the Osbournes. Do you know what? Kimmy and I. Kimmy was. She fell asleep on the sofa the other night after a long day at work. I think this was Wednesday night, and I was like, do you know what? I've got all the time in the world this evening, so I was just like, I'm just going to put the Osbournes on. It might have been Tuesday night, I can't remember. And yeah, I've been on a full Ozzy and Sabbath kick this week. I've been watching. I've been listening to so much Sabbath, listening to so much Ozzy, and I'm rewatching the Osbournes again because it's hilarious. That was the TV show that really kickstarted. Yeah, it really kickstarted reality TV. 100%. And it's funny because they even did a thing called the basement tapes where they they rewatch it together, and they were all kind of saying we had no arc to this. There was no story. There was no purpose. It was just a camera crew following us around.
It was awesome.
And and it's funny how they kind of look at it now and go, but they didn't. None of them knew either where this was going to go. They were just like it was just they were the family of Ozzy. you know.
Yeah, and they had another sister, and she was never part of the show.
Yeah, Amy didn't take part in it. Yeah, because she's a singer and a songwriter herself, and she didn't want to just have her life thrust into the public spotlight like that. She wanted to just go out and do her thing, which is fair enough. Difficult, I think, for Sharon and Ozzy to understand at the time, but yeah, they respected it, so they let her let her not be a part of the show. But yeah, I mean, it made the rest of the Osbournes. It made Sharon. She obviously had the career being Ozzy's manager anyway, but like it thrust her more into the public spotlight, and not obviously Kelly and Jack. And they said, like, there was no blueprint for this. They I think had they known how big it was going to be, Ozzy said he probably wouldn't have done it. But at the same time, someone else would have. So it kind of, I think they did it with the perfect family, because the Osbournes were so unintentionally funny, but like unapologetically themselves. So, which is great. So
it's great. Well, great stream. I was so happy that you were there. So thank you for sending me pictures and stuff. And it was awesome. Of course, it was, 5 hours ahead of me, so like it was done early, like, so for me at least.
Yeah, well the stream obviously, because we're 5 hours ahead of you, 8 hours ahead of LA. The stream wasn't aired live, if that makes sense.
No, it wasn't.
Because I think the show started at 1 p.m. UK time. I think the thing that you put up, it says it started at 1:30. It didn't start at 1. But yeah, so that started at 1 p.m. and the stream went out at 3 p.m. So it went out. It was a 2-hour delay basically to it. So
yeah.
So but yeah,
for
I think that probably
any reason why, or just
I think to allow fans stateside to be able to watch it, because bearing in mind 3 p.m. to us is 7 a.m. in LA. So like you don't want to start that stream at 5 a.m. I guess.
Makes sense. I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, at least let people get up and have their breakfast.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I think it was the right time to start it, I guess. Like then, but yeah, I can hear Youngblood doing his cover of Changes now, because the girls are still watching it in the lounge. Again,
I'll let you go join them. So very cool.
Go and watch Youngblood on YouTube. Do that cover of Changes. Go and find the cover of Black Sabbath doing Children of the Grave as well. Again, it's such a good cover. And then if you're able to find any footage of Ozzy doing Mama I'm Coming Home or doing Crazy Train, that was really, really good. But yeah, just all in all, the best gig ever.
Yeah. Thanks,
period.
Nick. Nick's awesome.
So yeah, thanks, Nick.
Check out Movie Meanie Nick. He's got a great channel. So welcome back. Let's do more pub talks.
Yeah, is this our first pub talk since
the Oscars? I think so. Yeah, Pub Talk 108.
We've
the last
had
one on your channel. So nice.
Yeah, we've had a bit of a break. When was that? March. So yeah, we need to get back out and do a few more pub talks, don't we? So yeah,
definitely. For sure. Well, happy birthday week. Happy birthday, Kimmy. Happy birthday, Mr. Mraz, as well. So hopefully we'll do some more. There's a couple topics we didn't even talk about. There's a lot of topics, a lot of Disney stuff, a lot of Disney World stuff is happening.
There's a lot of Disney stuff.
We got to do one of those. We got to talk about Epic Universe.
Epic Universe.
I think we have a couple topics.
That's not even news now, is it? That's
just
a thing that's just a thing that everyone kind of takes for granted now. It's like it's not even new anymore.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, well, it hasn't been open that long. Like it's been open a month, so I know Pam's been there like 15 times, but
yeah. Universal UK, I guess. Hassan says, I missed the start, but what did you make of Steven Tyler and Sammy Hagar's performances? Steven Tyler blew the roof off. Like he was fantastic. He did 3 great covers. Sammy Hagar, I don't think he had quite the energy of Steven Tyler. As much as he tried, I don't think he had that. Yeah, Sammy Hagar's great. And again, he's rock royalty. So he obviously came out and gave everything he had, as all of the musicians did. You know, nobody was there just phoning it in. Like, everyone was up in their game on their performances. But I just don't think he got the pop from the crowd like Steven Tyler did, or, you know, like a few other musicians did, which is a shame. But again, you know, there was no negativity there. It was just, you know, again, yeah, I think, like I said, you had the guy from Ugly Kid Joe there, and again, you know, no massive pop for him, but yeah, I think everyone appreciated everyone turning up. So yeah.
It was
good. Like Entertainment Fan says, couldn't agree more, Adam. Best gig ever, probably the best since Live Aid. Again, this is the modern day heavy metal version of,
for sure,
Live Aid meets Freddie Mercury tribute concert. Only this time Ozzy was alive, whereas obviously Freddie obviously wasn't, unfortunately. But yeah, like I don't think I'll see a gig like this again in my lifetime. Kim and I were talking afterwards, actually, and we said, like, how many bands played that show last Saturday and probably wished that their careers would end like that, you know, that they would get to go out on their own terms and say farewell to their fans, you know, in the place where they started, you know, because Villa Park is where Aston Villa Football Club plays in Birmingham, and it's within a mile or two of where all four of them grew up, you know, so people made pilgrimages to Ozzy's childhood home, and, you know, and things like that. To the Crown pub in Birmingham, which is where the band played their first ever gig, you know, where heavy metal was born, basically, and, you know, just stuff like that, you know. So very, very, very cool.
Yeah, my buddy Luca went to the F1 race, whatever, the next day.
The F1 was at Silverstone the next day, which from Birmingham, not all that far, probably about an hour's drive, you know. So,
and then he said he went back to the town and there was a bunch of different Black Sabbath stuff around town, which was kind of cool.
So I mean, they've made it in Birmingham. They've made it the Summer of Sabbath, is what they've called it. You know, so awesome. They renamed a bridge after Black Sabbath, which has got a bench with all four of their cutouts. There's been murals and stuff painted all around the city and things. You know, so people go and visit the murals. People, like I said, go and make a little pilgrimage to Ozzy's home when he was a kid, or to Sabbath Bridge, or to, you know, the Crown pub where they started, you know, things like that. So yeah, it's very cool. Lots and lots of landmarks. You've got, again, I talked about the Commonwealth Games earlier. There was an icon for the Commonwealth Games, which was a big mechanical bull, which is called Ozzy, you know, so people went to take photos with that as well.
I didn't realize his name was Ozzy. That's awesome.
Yeah, the big mechanical bull from the Commonwealth Games is called Ozzy. So
cool.
Just loads of stuff. So yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on and giving the recap. It was awesome. And that was great. It was fun. We playing? We're gonna play. So.
Yeah, we can play.
Right, buddy. Well, hopefully we'll be back soon. If not, next week we'll celebrate your birthday at some point. And let's come back on more. So good. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Pub Talk 108's in the bag. Don't forget, we have a Pub Talk podcast too. So I'll be uploading this to the podcast, probably be on tomorrow morning.
So the Pubcast.
And you go back and listen to some of the awesome shows we did. So, all right, buddy. Oh, and Jaws 50th we got to do. There's a couple shows we got to do. And
Jaws
Back to the Future 40th anniversaries. There's a couple of cool milestone anniversaries. I replayed our Jaws thing on the anniversary, our show. Nice. It was really good to hear it. There was a couple shows we did. And then we did a mega hangout with Jaws once too, and I replayed that too. So
we reviewed all four movies, didn't we? So
yes, we did the sequels, mainly Jaws 4, but we did that one too. So
yeah.
Jaws 4. So Jaws 3, Jaws 4. No, Jaws 3 is the 3D, and Jaws 4 is the one.
We did. Yeah, we did one show. We did one show where we all reviewed Jaws 1, and I think I had watched the Shark is Broken documentary, so I had like all the facts and stuff lined up, and then we did another one where we each took a sequel, didn't we? So I think I did Jaws 2, you did Jaws 3. And Dan did Jaws 4, so yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
A very comedic stream. So.
Goonies too, yeah.
Goonies.
All right. I gotta feed this family. Good talking to you, brother.
You go feed the family. I'm gonna go watch more Sabbath.
Yes, go enjoy. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for
and
joining
we'll
us
be
in the
back.
pub, guys.
Our peace and love to Dan and Mike and Brandon too. Thank you, guys. We miss you.
Yeah,
And,
Mike and Jen, thinking of you guys right now as well.
Yeah, thank you guys, of course.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.
See you later, guys.
Bye, bud.